Lena Hart adjusted the hem of a satin gown under the warm glow of a sewing lamp. Silver and white threads lay scattered across her work table like tiny pieces of her patience. She worked as a seamstress in a tiny studio in Seattle, a narrow room filled with soft fabrics, humming machines, and the faint scent of steam from her iron. Clients adored her work. Brides trusted her. Vintage collectors whispered her name to each other with respect. But at home, none of it mattered. "It's honest work, Lena," her mother often said, waving a dismissive hand. "But don't you think you're wasting your degree?" Her older sister, Clara, had a shiny marketing job at a tech company downtown, complete with leather heels and office brunches, her mother's pride and joy. "Look at Clara," her mother would say at dinner. "She's going places." Lena learned to smile through it, though her chest always tightened. "I like what I do," she would say softly. But no one ever seemed to hear her. When Clara announced her wedding, Lena hoped maybe, finally, she would be treated like part of the family. She hoped to be needed, seen, included. The gold-lettered invitation arrived smooth and beautiful, with her name printed neatly. But it felt cold. There was no +1, no personal note, no warmth, just Lena Hart in plain ink. Still, Lena ironed her best dress and arrived at the venue 2 hours early. She peeked into the bridal suite, heart hopeful. "Hey," she said gently, holding a garment bag. "I can help with the bridesmaids' ribbons, or steam your gown if you need." Clara barely turned. "We're fine, Lena. Go find your seat." One bridesmaid snickered. "She really came early like the help," she whispered. Lena swallowed hard. "Okay," she murmured, backing out. The ceremony space was stunning. White chairs, floral arches, a string quartet tuning softly. But when she approached the seating chart, her breath caught. Her name was placed in the very last row, behind a massive decorative pillar. "This has to be wrong," she whispered. She found her mother by the aisle arranging flowers. "Mom, I can't see anything from my seat. Can we change it?" Her mother didn't even glance up. "That's your assignment, Lena. Don't create drama on Clara's big day." The words cut. "Just sit, please," her mother added sharply. So Lena did, heart sinking. Lena sat behind the pillar, pretending not to notice guests giving her sympathetic glances as they walked by. She stared at her folded hands until a tall man in a charcoal suit slipped into the empty chair beside her. "Wow," he whispered with a grin, "you got the worst seat in the entire country." Lena laughed softly. "Yeah, I noticed." He extended a hand. "I'm Adam. My friend Mark was invited but got sick last minute. He told me to take his spot before the food got wasted." Lena shook his hand. "I'm Lena, sister of the bride." Adam raised an eyebrow. "Sister of the bride, and they hid you behind a wall." She sighed. "Family politics." Adam leaned back. "Complicated families make great stories." Lena shook her head. "Not this one." They fell quiet as the ceremony began, though Lena could only catch pieces of Clara walking down the aisle. When it ended, Adam found her again near the cocktail bar. "Still hiding behind pillars," he teased. Lena chuckled. "It seems to be my assigned role." "Well," he said lightly, "stick with me tonight. We'll survive this mess together." And somehow, Lena felt the first ease of the whole evening. When dinner was announced, Lena approached her assigned table and froze. The card placed her at a small table in the far corner, right beside the hallway to the bathrooms. "You've got to be kidding," she muttered. Adam peered over her shoulder. "Not happening." Before she could protest, he grabbed both place cards and marched toward a table closer to the front. "This is my girlfriend, Lena," he said confidently to the guests already seated. Lena blinked, startled. "Girlfriend?" But the people at the table welcomed her warmly. A woman in a sleek navy gown introduced herself as Joanna. "I own the company Clara's fiancé works for," she said casually. Then she looked at Lena with curiosity. "So, you're Adam's girlfriend?" Adam gave Lena a subtle squeeze under the table. Lena smiled. "Yes." Joanna nodded. "And how do you know the bride?" "Clara is my sister," Lena replied. Joanna blinked, genuinely surprised. "Strange. Clara never mentioned having a sister." Lena forced a polite smile. "She's been busy." All night, Lena could feel eyes from her family's table trying to burn holes through her. But for once, Lena didn't shrink back. She stayed exactly where she was, beside someone treating her with dignity. During the speeches, Lena clapped quietly as her father toasted Clara, calling her our star, our pride, the daughter who always made us shine. Her mother followed with glowing stories about dress fittings, cake tastings, and heartfelt moments. Not once did either mention Lena. Not one word about the daughter who had hemmed Clara's gown months ago for free. Lena's hands tightened around her napkin. Adam leaned toward her. "If I didn't know better," he whispered, "I'd think they rented you out for the night." Lena bit back a laugh. "I'm used to it." "You shouldn't be," he murmured. Then Lena saw her mother loitering near their table, irritation clear on her face. "Lena," she hissed, "why aren't you sitting where you belong?" Before Lena could respond, Adam stood with calm confidence. "Good evening, Mrs. Hart. I'm Adam, Lena's boyfriend. We wanted to sit together." Mrs. Hart froze. "Boyfriend?" Adam handed her his business card. "It's a pleasure to meet you. You have two wonderful daughters." The word "two" hung heavily. Mrs. Hart read his card, and her expression shifted instantly. "Oh, you work in pharmaceuticals?" "Yes," Adam said with a kind smile. "I do." She softened immediately. Lena stared, stunned. Later, Clara and her new husband approached their table. "I didn't know you were dating anyone," Clara said, tension sharp under her smile. "It's new," Lena replied calmly. "Adam and I met recently." Clara looked Adam over. Lena usually keeps to herself. "You must be charming." Adam smiled. "Actually, she's the charming one." Lena nearly choked on her drink. Clara forced a laugh before walking away. "You know they'll talk about this all night," Lena whispered once they were alone. Adam leaned in. "Good. Let them." When the music started, he held out a hand. "Dance." Lena blinked. "You're serious?" "Absolutely." He led her into soft lights and spinning laughter, making her feel seen in a way she hadn't felt in years. When the reception ended, he walked her to her hotel door. "Thank you," she said softly. "For everything." "You don't thank someone for treating you right," he replied gently. She smiled. "Still, you made tonight bearable." "Then my mission is complete," he said. Before leaving, he added, "Can I see you again? For real this time?" Warmth spread through her chest. "I'd like that." When the door closed, Lena leaned against it, smiling for the first time in days. The next morning, sunlight spilled across Lena's hotel sheets when her phone buzzed. "Good morning," Adam said cheerfully. "Breakfast yet?" "Not yet," she said, yawning. "Meet me downstairs." "I'm buying something unconnected to awkward family politics." Lena laughed. 15 minutes. They met in the hotel restaurant, where the air smelled of coffee and warm pastries. Adam stirred his drink. "Do they always treat you like that?" Lena's smile faded. "Always. I'm the wrong kind of successful." "Wrong kind?" he asked. "Clara works in a skyscraper. I work with fabric and pins. Guess which one sounds better to my mom's friends?" Adam shook his head. "Sounds like you build beauty with your hands." "That's real work." For the first time, Lena felt someone understood her. They talked for an hour, about their childhoods, favorite books, and life in Seattle. Adam told her about his parents in Portland and two brothers who teased him for being too serious. "You're not serious," Lena said. "You're thoughtful." He grinned. "I'll take that." When they stood to leave, Adam paused. "Let's keep seeing each other. No pretend this time." Lena hesitated only a moment. "Okay." And that single word shifted everything. Their connection deepened quickly. They texted every morning, called every night, and spent weekends exploring Seattle's waterfront or watching movies with shared bowls of popcorn. Adam sent her photos of his boring lunches with dramatic captions like, "Fuel for surviving the corporate jungle." Lena replied with pictures of half-finished dresses captioned, "Currently fighting lace. Send help." One night at a small cafe, Lena admitted, "My family still hasn't asked how Clara's wedding went." Adam sighed. "Then stop waiting for them to care." Lena stared at her cup. "It's not that simple." "It is," he said. "They don't get to decide your worth anymore." She looked up, meeting his eyes. "You make everything sound so easy." He shrugged. "Loving someone means reminding them what's true." 2 months later, Adam called with unusual excitement. "How do you feel about Hawaii?" I feel like I can't afford Hawaii, Lena said, laughing.
That's not what I asked. Do you want to go next week? She blinked.
Are you serious?
Completely. You've been working non-stop.
Let me give you a real break. After a long breath, she smiled. You're impossible.
Thank you, he said proudly.
A week later, they boarded a plane to paradise. Hawaii was everything Lena didn't know she needed. The ocean shimmered like glass, warm wind brushing against her skin as though welcoming her. Adam had booked 2 separate rooms in a luxury hotel overlooking the turquoise water.
Just so you feel safe, he said quietly.
For 5 days they swam, hiked, ate fresh fruit on the beach, and watched sunsets that made Lena's heart ache with peace. She posted a few photos on Instagram, not of Adam, just of the ocean and her relaxed smile. When they returned to Seattle, her phone buzzed non-stop with calls and messages from her mother.
Lena hesitated before picking up. Is it true? Her mother demanded.
Are you dating that man from the wedding? Yes, Mom, Lena said calmly. I am. And what exactly does he do? He works in pharmaceuticals, Lena replied, knowing the tone well.
How much does he make? Lena froze.
Mom, that's not your business.
I'm your mother, she snapped.
I deserve to know.
No, Lena said softly.
You don't.
Silence.
Then, your father and I would like you both to come for dinner next Sunday. Let me ask Adam, but her mother had already hung up.
Lena sighed. This was going to be messy.
That evening Lena told Adam about the invitation. You don't have to go, he said gently. I know, Lena replied, rubbing her forehead. But part of me wants to.
I need to see how far they'll go. Adam smiled calmly. Then let's go.
I've survived tougher things than your mom. On Sunday they drove to her parents' large suburban home. Clara and her husband were already there, wine glasses raised. The tension hit Lena the moment she stepped inside.
Dinner began with uneasy small talk.
So, Adam, Lena's father said while carving the roast, what kind of car do you drive?
A sedan, Adam replied.
Nothing fancy. Do you own a house? Yes.
How much is it worth?
Adam kept a polite smile. Enough to keep the rain out.
Lena's mother leaned in.
Lena mentioned you're in pharmaceuticals. That must pay well. It pays fine, Adam said lightly. How much exactly? Lena's fork froze. Mom, please stop.
Her mother ignored her. Adam simply chuckled softly.
Let's just say I do all right.
Not one question about love. Not one about happiness. Only money. Lena's heart sank deeper with each minute.
She could feel something building, something that would change everything. Halfway through dinner, Adam placed his fork down gently and cleared his throat.
I think I should admit something, he said.
The entire table fell silent. Lena's stomach tightened. Admit what? Her father asked sharply. Adam folded his hands calmly. I wasn't completely honest about my job title.
Her mother stiffened.
Clara leaned forward eagerly, sensing drama.
So what are you really? Her father demanded.
I'm not the financial director at All Era Pharmaceuticals, Adam said. Her mother gasped as if the world had tilted. So you lied, her father barked.
Her mother glared at Lena. You brought a liar into our home.
A man with no future.
Clara smirked.
Typical.
Get out, her father snapped.
Both of you.
Now.
Lena stood trembling, shame and anger twisting together. But Adam remained perfectly calm, taking her hand.
Come on, he said softly.
They walked out under the weight of her family's judgment, the door slamming behind them. The moment they reached the car, Lena burst into stunned laughter. What just happened? Adam laughed too, shaking his head. Exactly what I expected.
She blinked. You expected that? He nodded, eyes glinting. Of course. Lena stared at him.
Adam, what are you talking about?
He smiled softly.
I'm not the financial director, Lena. I own the company.
She froze.
You, what? I founded All Era 8 years ago, he said gently. The title helps me stay low-key. People treat you differently when they think you're wealthy. Lena gaped at him. You let them kick us out knowing you're the boss.
Adam nodded.
I wanted you to see them clearly, to see how quickly they judged. Lena leaned back against the seat, overwhelmed. You're unbelievable. Adam smirked. You mean brilliant and handsome?
She burst out laughing.
That too. A week later, her mother called again, this time furious.
End things with that man immediately, she demanded. Lena sighed.
No, he's not who he said he was. Actually, Lena said, he's more than he said.
Silence.
Then her mother's voice cracked. What do you mean?
Lena spoke calmly.
He owns all Era, Mum.
Her mother inhaled sharply.
He owns it.
Yes. And it shouldn't matter.
Because the truth is, you wouldn't have respected him if he wasn't rich.
Don't be clever with me, her mother snapped.
We're your family.
No, Lena said softly.
You were people I used to call family.
She hung up.
2 weeks later, Adam invited Lena to dinner at a rooftop restaurant overlooking the city. Candlelight flickered against her face as the skyline shimmered below. After dessert, Adam reached across the table and took her hand. Lena, he said softly, I know this might feel fast, but I've never been more sure of anything.
Her heart fluttered.
What do you mean? He stood, walked around the table, and knelt. Will you marry me?
Lena's breath caught.
He opened a small velvet box, revealing a simple, elegant ring that sparkled under the lights.
Are you serious? She whispered.
I've been serious since the moment I met you, he said. Even behind that awful pillar. Lena laughed through tears.
Yes, she said.
Yes, I'll marry you. Adam slipped the ring on her finger and pulled her into his arms. The world below seemed to glow brighter, as if the city was celebrating with them. They decided on a small wedding at Adam's estate outside the city, a stunning property surrounded by rolling hills and blooming gardens. When Adam showed it to her, Lena's jaw dropped. This is your house.
Our house, he corrected gently.
And for the first time in her life, Lena believed those words. Lena spent weeks designing her wedding gown. Every bead, every stitch, every seam sewn with quiet joy. When she finished it, she cried softly, surprised by how beautiful it felt to make something for herself. Invitations went out to friends, co-workers, and, out of courtesy, her parents and Clara.
Her mother responded within an hour. We will not be attending.
Lena read the message twice, but she didn't feel the sting she expected.
She simply showed Adam, who shrugged.
Their loss.
Lena nodded. Yes.
Their loss. On the day of the wedding, the sky was bright, the air warm, and the gardens glowing with soft color. A gentle breeze lifted the veil she had crafted herself. Guests filled the seats beneath the arch of roses. When the music began, Lena walked down the aisle toward Adam, who looked at her with a tenderness that made her knees almost give out. You're beautiful, he whispered when she reached him.
So are you, she teased.
They exchanged vows with trembling voices, promising partnership, kindness, and a love that didn't shrink. When Adam kissed her, the guests erupted in cheers. For the first time, Lena felt entirely chosen, not tolerated, not overlooked, chosen.
Photos from the wedding spread online quickly.
The estate looked magical, the event intimate and elegant. By morning, Lena's mother was calling again. Lena answered only because she felt calm enough to face it. You deceived us, her mother snapped. We had to find out from pictures that your husband owns that estate. Lena inhaled slowly. I didn't deceive anyone. I invited you. You should have told us who he really was. It wouldn't have mattered, Lena said softly. You only respect people with money.
There was a long breath on the other side. We are your family, her mother said weakly. Family doesn't treat me the way you treat me, Lena replied. She didn't shout. She didn't cry.
She simply ended the call, blocked every number that once made her feel small, and stared at the peaceful garden outside her new home. For the first time in her life, she felt steady,
solid, free.
When she told Adam what she'd done, he pulled her into a long, quiet hug. You chose yourself, he whispered.
Lena exhaled shakily. Finally.
That night they sat on the terrace, sipping tea as the sun dipped into gold. Lena felt her heart breathe. Lena moved into the estate with Adam and immediately turned one of the sunlit rooms into a studio. Bolts of fabric lined the walls like beautiful towers. It's perfect, she whispered. Adam smiled.
Good.
I want you to build something extraordinary here.
And she did.
Her former clients returned, excited to work with her again. Some of Adam's business associates' wives reached out for custom pieces. Even Joanna, the CEO from the wedding, called. I need a gown for a charity gala,
Joanna said during a fitting. Your work is exceptional, Lena.
Thank you, Lena said sincerely. I just never had the right stage before.
Word spread quickly. Within months, Lena's designs appeared in magazines. Brides booked appointments months in advance. She opened her boutique, Lena Atelier, in a warm, elegant space downtown with white walls, gold accents, and soft lighting. Her opening night was crowded with designers, friends, and reporters. During the toast, Adam lifted his glass.
To my wife, the woman who turns thread into magic.
Lena blushed as cheers filled the room. Her business bloomed. Her confidence grew.
And slowly, gently, she stitched a new life from pieces of hope she once thought were too small to matter. Months later, Lena's grandmother visited the boutique. The elderly woman walked slowly between racks of gowns, running her fingers along the soft fabrics. You've done well for yourself, sweetheart, she said, smiling warmly.
Lena hugged her.
Thanks, Grandma.
Her grandmother lowered her voice.
Your mother called me last week.
Lena sighed.
Let me guess, she wanted you to convince me to talk to her.
Exactly, her grandmother said, eyes twinkling.
And what did you say?
Lena asked. The old woman straightened her back proudly.
I told her she made her bed, and now she can lie in it. Lena burst into laughter.
Relief washed through her chest, light and freeing.
Grandma, you always tell the truth.
That's why I sleep well at night, she replied. She patted Lena's hand. You're happy now. That's what matters.
Let your mother learn her lessons in her own time.
Lena hugged her again, tears stinging her eyes.
I love you.
I love you too, sweetheart.
And I'm proud of you. When her grandmother left, Lena stood in the quiet boutique, feeling gratitude swell inside her.
She wasn't alone, not in life, not in love, not in purpose. She had finally found her people.
The next year became the best of Lena's life.
Her business flourished.
Her marriage deepened with comforting routines, shared dinners, soft conversations, morning kisses before work.
Adam's family embraced her completely. His mother called her just to chat. His brothers invited them to weekend picnics. His nieces clung to her legs when they visited.
Auntie Lena, make us dresses, they begged, and she always promised she would. Some evenings, Lena sat on the terrace, sewing while the sky turned orange. Adam would bring 2 cups of tea. Do you ever think about them? He asked one night. Lena didn't pretend.
Sometimes, she said. But not with anger anymore.
I think about them the way I think about shoes that don't fit, uncomfortable, but not something I need to keep.
Adam smiled.
That's growth.
She rested her head on his shoulder. Real growth, she whispered. The wind blew softly. The garden lights flickered like little stars.
Lena took a slow breath, realizing she finally lived a life built on love, not desperation. A life chosen, and choosing her right back. She felt peace settle inside her like a warm blanket. She never imagined this kind of calm, but she welcomed it like an old friend. 2 years after opening her boutique, Lena was featured in a national bridal magazine. The headline read, "The designer who sewed her own destiny." She framed the front page and hung it behind her counter. Whenever she looked at it, she remembered the girl who once sat behind a pillar at her sister's wedding, the girl who thought she didn't matter. That girl would never recognize the woman she had become. One afternoon, a journalist from the magazine visited her boutique for a follow-up interview. What would you do, he asked gently, if your mother or sister wanted to reconcile?
Lena smiled softly. I'd wish them peace, she said.
But I wouldn't go back.
The journalist nodded. Why?
Lena looked around the boutique, the gowns, the sunlight, the soft music, the life she'd built.
Because some doors are meant to stay closed, she said.
Walking away saved me.
She spoke the words with quiet certainty.
When the interview ended, Lena stood at the window, watching people pass by. For the first time, she felt no weight, no ache, no longing for what could have been.
She felt whole. She felt enough.
She felt like someone who survived herself into something beautiful. On their 3rd anniversary, Adam handed Lena a small wrapped box.
Open it, he said, eyes warm.
Inside was a framed piece of fabric, an ivory scrap from the dress Lena wore to Clara's wedding, the one she had quietly altered
herself before being hidden behind a pillar.
Beneath the fabric, in gold ink, Adam had written, "From forgotten to unforgettable."
Tears filled Lena's eyes instantly. You always know what to say, she whispered. That's because I listen, he replied, pulling her close. She looked around at the life they'd built. The calm home, the garden lights, the laughter that filled every room, the boutique that bore her name. She finally understood something she had never grasped before. Happiness didn't come from people who tolerated you. It came from those who saw you, valued you, chose you, and stayed. She kissed Adam softly. Thank you, she said. For what? He asked.
For seeing me when no one else did. Adam smiled. You've always been worth seeing.
Lena felt peace settle deep inside her. She wasn't the forgotten girl anymore.
She had stitched her life into something extraordinary, thread by thread, choice by choice, love by love. And this time, the story ended exactly where it should.